Hey poders, welcome to my YouTube channel. Eileen here with a new pole tutorial. Today we're going to be learning how to do the reverse grab. This is a simple trick that anyone can do, and I'm going to show you two different ways to do it. One is a simple with just jumping forward into the reverse grab, and then another with a little more motion to give you more momentum to have a bigger, wider, and more aggressive reverse grab. So let's get on the pole. Alright, so you're going to start with whichever side that you want to. I would recommend that you start with your dominant arm. So in my case, I'm going to use my right arm. So I'm standing next to the pole on my right side, and I'm going to get my right arm on top really high. And a little tip here, get on your tiptoes and get this arm as high as you can get it, alright? The higher you start, the wider your reverse grab will be. So try to stand as tall as you can. What you're going to do from here is kick with your outside leg, which in my case is the left. I'm going to kick forward, and then my inside leg, which is my right, is going to follow forward, opening to a straddle, and then I'm going to turn around. I'm going to show you how to do it in really slow motion without really going for it, and then I'll show you faster so that you can get the idea, and then I'll show you also the other way, which is going with a little more momentum. Alright, so what you want to do, again, starting next to the pole, standing next to it with your top arm really high on your tiptoes, as high as you can get. And I'm going to go with the left leg forward, like this, and then the right one will follow. And then I'm going to turn around using the pole. So I'm going to go basically left straddle, and then I'm going to turn around by using this arm that's free to push against the pole here. It's going to come here, and I'm going to push away to turn around and grab the pole. Alright, so that was a little confusing maybe, so let's see it in motion. So again, standing tall on your tiptoes, you go forward straddle, grab the pole, push and stand again. Alright, so what I did here again was pushing with the left, opening on a straddle with the right. This arm that is free is grabbing the pole from here at the back, pushing away for me to go around and land on my feet again. Let's see it one more time. So try to go as wide as possible with that straddle, right? So you want to go boom, 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 boom. So the opening is really important for you to go aggressive with the left leg, then the right follows into that straddle, mark that straddle, and then that arm, as I said, goes on the pole, pushes you for you to turn around and do that turning off the pole. So that would be the more normal way to do a reverse grab, right? Standing next to the pole on your tiptoes, following always first with your outside leg. So starting with the outside, front, boom, boom. Now, if you want to go a little wider, more aggressive, you can do a few jumps in between before going for that opening, alright? So, you have different ways to really go around and like jump through. Now, this would be probably the best one to do because it's going to make it look really wide, aggressive, and really gorgeous. So, what you want to do and what you want to avoid. So you want to walk in diagonal, forward, but in diagonal. So I'm not going to walk next to the pole forward. I'm going in diagonal. So that's why I'm saying what you want to do, you want to walk in diagonal. What you want to avoid, walking forward into a pole. If you walk forward into a pole, you are going to end up crashing into a pole, bumping into a pole, and that's going to make your reverse grab really small, less aggressive. So try to always keep that distance. That's why we're starting very high, creating here a lot of distance. You never want to start here, right? You can never be close to a pole, crashing into a pole. You always need to be away from the pole, creating that distance. You always want to keep this distance. So make sure that you're always here, and that when you walk, not only in this version, but on the one that you go forward, the one that I showed you before, you're always creating this distance and you're never walking into a pole and crashing against it. So first, I want you to practice just walking in diagonal, forward, but in diagonal. So in diagonal, in diagonal, in diagonal. Just do this for a long time until you really understand the distance and the walk. Once you get that, you're going to start actually jumping, and you want to keep in mind that you're always grabbing with this arm high, staying on your tiptoes, and remember that you're never hanging on that arm. You're always actively engaging this shoulder. You can never be here hanging on the shoulder, right? That's really risky. You really want to be engaging here, completely in control of that hand. Alright, so let's go now a little faster with that walk. You're going to actually jump forward in diagonal, and you're always starting with that outside leg, alright? Remember that even on the more simple version that I showed you before, where I told you you come out first with your outside leg, same here. You are always starting that walk with the outside. So I'm going to do 3 walks, and then I'm going to go forward. So it's actually 2 walks, and on the 3rd walk I'm going forward, alright? So I'm going to do 1, 2, and on the 3rd one I go for that reverse grab. Okay, so you're going to do outside leg, inside leg, and then the outside comes forward off the floor, alright? Okay, let's do this. So we're going to start high on our tiptoes, and again we're going first with the outside, then the inside, and then the outside goes forward for that reverse grab. So we're going wide and aggressive. We're going to start here so you can really spot that walk and the openness. So basically here we did the same as before. We just added a little motion with those steps. So before we just did boom, right? We just went forward, doo-doo. And now what we're doing is adding a few steps to make it a little bigger, a little wider, more aggressive. And it's going to give it a lot of motion. So from here, basically, you could do many other tricks, right? So from this openness, you can go around then for an inversion or any other trick that you want. Let's see it one more time. I'm gonna start now from the side so that you can spot that as well. So starting on our tiptoes, really high on that arm, creating that distance, starting with the outside leg, going in diagonal and forward with a lot of motion in control. So going and pushing away, and you can keep turning if you want. You can come back to the pole, whatever you want to do from there, it's fine. Alright guys, so I hope that you learned how to do the reverse grab. Remember that this is not that hard. You can totally do it. You just need to keep in mind these things that I just told you of keeping that top arm really engaged, never hanging on the shoulder, really actively engaging here on the shoulder. And of course, keeping that distance on the pole. Remember, you never want to be crashing or bumping into a pole. You're always on that distance. You start on your tiptoes and your arm really high to create that distance, and be very mindful with the legs. So I would suggest that you just start first walking around, doing like the walk without even actually going for the reverse grab, for your mind to just get into the position of the legs and coordination, because that's really the most difficult part of the reverse grab, just coordinating your body and the legs, like arms with legs doing the motions, all right? So just take your time to do that, and once you really understand that coordination, you'll be able to do it. It might look a little weird at the beginning or feel a little clumsy, but that's totally normal. Just keep going, practice, and it'll happen. Remember to try on both sides, so maybe one side will be a little easier than the other, but try both. And be safe, and as always, the most important part, have fun with it. Also, you can play with these variations that I just gave you, so maybe just try the first one where you just go forward into your reverse grab and just like the simpler way to do it. Start with that, feel comfortable doing that, and then you can move into the more aggressive with this walking around and getting like a little wider reverse grab. So I would say start with the first one, feel comfortable there, and then move into the next one. Whichever you do, you'll be great doing both, so just do your best and everything will be fine. Alright, so I hope that you liked this video, and if you did, please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications, and drop in the comments all the feedback or questions that you have for me. I am always happy to reach you and connect with you through any social media, so please feel free to reach out. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope I will see you soon on my next video.